What's up, YouTube? Capital G here, D End commentary. We got Stardust 48, 1657 versus Mr. Gold 16. Wait, did I say 15? 1657 versus 1628. Mr. Gold on the bottom. I'm up kind of late night or early morning, really. And I'm looking for some duels, and I run across this, and I'm like, wait a minute, is this guy playing Burning Abyss? And then I look on the field, I'm like, okay, he's got Speedroids, and this has the potential to be pretty epic. Stardust has, I'm not quite sure what he's playing because all I see is Chicken Game and a Gem Knight Garnet. Looks like Dante is definitely going to be big enough to get over that. Now, I wonder why he didn't either draw a card or pop this. But then again, you know what? He probably wants to see what he's going to get first off the Dante Mills and then try and figure out where he wants to go from there. Do I need to kill this card? Do I need to draw one? What am I going to do? He's got Totem Bird. He's got Dante. He's got Mecha Engineer, Mecha Equipped Engineer. Yeah, Mecha Equipped Engineer. I don't think I've ever seen a field I don't think I've ever seen this field in my life. Like this is the strangest field ever. But I know in the OCG, Burning Abyss Speedroids have become pretty popular. In fact, ever since well, I guess you could call it Draco Pals. It has taken. It took kind of a hit from week 1 to week 2. It's not like OP. I mean, well, it's still OP, but it's not like tier 0 like Performance and Pals was. People are you're starting to see Monarchs and Burning Abyss kind of creep back up to that level of the Performer Pals, well, Draco Pals as it is. And one of the versions of Burning Abyss that's really popular in Japan is Burning Abyss Speedroids, because Speedroids have a lot of good level 3 monsters, and a lot of times they can search themselves. You always get the option of making like Clearwing Synchro Dragon, which can be kind of a beast, Black Rose, and I mean, Totem Bird's pretty good too, so, you know. And OCG Burning Abyss is also like just ridiculous because you gotta remember they have 3 Seer, 3 Graph, 3 Tour Guide, and what's her name? Beatrice? Oh my, that is a heck of a counterplay though. Looks like Stardust has, okay, so he's playing, again, I don't really know what to call it. Some type of Stardust refs. Look, he's about to go YOLO on the field. Every time I see this play, it makes me think like that the Stars Rest are so good because you get to draw 3 cards. You get obviously a huge XC play. He is just not done either. He could actually clear his entire board. Honestly, if he has Ragnar Zero, he'd be really good shape. Or he could go for actually no. The play here would probably be Deltaros plus like Abyss Dweller, like something like that. Because you could exceed with these two. And pop 2 and then draw 2. Although I don't think, I mean, he has Engineer, so he could stop the destruction of one of the cards. So you know what would be great here if Mr. Gold had a Max C, that would have been fantastic. So I think he went summon this, chain this. When this hits the field, chain this. He says you can only have 1 special summon on the field in the same chain. I guess by that, then I don't think you'd be able to summon Scepter. I believe all the rest of them are fine, but I don't think what's it called. He says I physical summon after that. I play faster. Okay, I don't know what he's talking about at that point. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about. At that point, trying to think of what you can make here that'll completely get rid of all Mr. Gold's cards. The problem is, even if his Exceed just wasn't even that effective, he still has 3 cards in hand that he drew, not to mention the pop from Scepter. So like, it's gonna be really difficult for Mr. Gold to come back, in my opinion. Well, I mean, he has Seer, and if he gets all of his effects, like if he gets the Dante effect off, the Seer effect off, then I think he'll be okay. And I believe Totem Bird, what's it called? I believe Totem Bird, you detach 2 and negate. All right, so I guess they're having a little bit of an argument. No mods on either, so I guess they're having a little bit of a debate on whether you can summon all of what he did in one chain, essentially. because it's pretty normal to see somebody summon two sovereignties off of one scepter, and then you can search the second or the third sovereignty and special that. But I mean, I don't know, because if you drew the scepter, like, would you be able to special that too? Like, I don't know. All right, so I guess they're gonna accept it. Totem Bird goes to defense, so that it can't be destroyed this turn. I don't know if it being destroyed is the biggest issue. I mean, again, if I was Stardust, what I would try and do here is, I would try and bring out Abyss Dweller, and I would try and make sure that Dante and Seer don't get their effects off. That would be my #1 concern. And then I would bring out maybe like Deltaros, or see if this was a couple of weeks from now, you could just summon Cyber Dragon Infinity. Like, you could have this, and this going to Ptolemaeus. You could just bring out Infinity. You could just take the Downer Magician, and like that would just solve that problem right then and there. And then when Dante tried to trigger, you could just negate the Dante with the Cyber Dragon Infinity, and everything would be good, because you'd still have this to just be like a free XC with a pop too, which is just dumb. Man, maybe the Star Seraphs are going to be the way to go once CDI comes out. And, you know, with cards like Instant Fusion, which are one card XC makers, well, Instant Fusion, when you think about it, isn't it a one card Infinity? As long as you have Ptolemaeus. By the way, Ptolemaeus went to $32. The card was about $17. Now it's like $32. So, something told me to pick up a Ptolemaeus, but I guess I'm just not gonna be able to run rank 4 decks. I mean, there's the thing about Ptolemaeus is there's a decent chance it's gonna get banned, like it did in the OCG. I'm trying to think of any cards recently that got banned in the OCG that didn't get banned in the TCG. Although we have different lists, so I guess you have to go back to when they banned the Dragon Rulers in the OCG, and then they banned them here. All right, so goes for Graf and then Babar. Oh my God, is he gonna burn him to death? One, dude. If he has 4 cards, he loses the duel. Why on earth did he attack that Seer? 2, 3. Show me a 4th card. Oh my God, he doesn't have a 4th card. Are you kidding? Dude, what are you doing? So he went into Babar and he couldn't game him though. I don't think he wants to attack Totem Bird. That can't be destroyed. Yeah, it can't be destroyed by battle or card effects, if I'm not mistaken. I think it just says can't be destroyed. It cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Okay, so it just says that. I thought it was just it cannot be destroyed. So, okay, that's fine. It's a damn shame that Babar didn't burn him to death, though. Although, technically, he needs to kill this Dante. He needs to kill this Downer Magician without Dante triggering. Otherwise, he could just, what's it called? He could just add Babar back to his hand, summon it, and then banish Dante, and that's 300 damage, and Stardust would lose. Unless he has like Horn of Heaven or like, trying to think of anything else that would debunk something like debunk or something like that. I'm trying to think. I'm like, okay, Soul Drain and Solemn Warning wouldn't stop it. Those cost life points. Solemn Notice, same thing. You don't have the life points to pay. So he really needs to somehow kill this Downer Magician, but Dante cannot hit the graveyard and trigger. Otherwise, he will definitely add Babar. He will normal summon it. Totem Bird's on the field. It will blow itself up, and then he will activate the effect, burn to death by banishing the Dante. Or maybe he can spin the Dante back as a material, but that seems really difficult. So I don't really know. I don't think this was the right play. I think that he should have just went for Abyss Dweller or something like that. He wouldn't have had to worry about Seer even hitting the graveyard or triggering its effect in graveyard. So, yeah, man, Stardust, he got all of these cards and all these resources, and I think maybe he just forgot about Babar, because the card can end games. You know what I mean? Don't let Burning Abyss fool you. Just because they can't make Cowboy doesn't mean that they don't have something similar to Cowboy. All right, so he's going for Ptolemaeus. Oh, yeah, here it is. See, somebody summoned it. Ptolemaeus, $32. If you look about a week ago, it was $17. So, looks like he's going to activate the effect of the 2 scepters. Oh, he gets to draw more cards too, by the way. Downer Magician will die, obviously triggering Dante. Don't quite understand this play that much either. Well, actually, no. If he goes into Pallades, he can bounce the Totem Bird before Babar has a chance to, like, he can bounce the Totem Bird in main phase 1. That would just, you could just summon, like, Babar and attack. All right, so looks like he's going to go for Dante's effect. Now, I don't understand why he went Ptolemaeus with that, because now he can't use, unless he has instant fusion, he can't use these he can't use the sovereignties to synchro, or excuse me, to exceed. They have to be for ones that require 3 or more. All right, gets a terraforming. Oh, he's going for chicken game. Okay, I think he's going chicken game so he can't take damage. Although Mr. Gold could easily just pay 1,000 and blow that shit up. But I mean, hey, who's for me to say? The question will be here, what exactly does he do? All right, chicken game is the card he's going to search. Fair enough. I predicted that. I think he's just playing it just because he wants to block the damage, or he just wants Mr. Gold to pay 1,000 life points to get rid of it, because it does kind of block damage right now. But who's to say Mr. Gold? Oh, goes for diamond. Oh, shine bright like a diamond. That would totally stab Babar, by the way, too. Does not actually play the chicken game. I don't know if he didn't want it to get negated or what. Wow, I totally forgot about diamond. Okay, well, ball should definitely be in his court now. Unless diamond gets like flip face down or destroyed. Anti-spell fragrance is flipped over. Okay, I think that's just pretty much a way to protect his diamond. Might have to ask this guy for his deck list, dude. It looks legit. Okay. Got a Speedroid Teratop that's going to be summoned. Now, he could have negated this if he wanted to. Remember, Totem Bird can just negate anything. Well, a spell or a trap. As long as it's not a spell speed 3. Okay, so Teratops is summoned. Teratops adds. I play some Speedroids, guys. I play them on stream. They're a fun deck. They're a real fun deck. Now, he still could. There's still lots of outs here. He can still go into like he still obviously could go into things like Nightmare Shark, special summons to Ghettoberg, to Ghettoberg. I don't really pronounce these Speedroids that much on what's it called. If you control a wind monster, you special it. This dude, what's it called? This dude, when you normal it or you special it, it just lets you. It's like basically Speedroid Stratos, except you can special it. So if he plays Nightmare Shark, which he should, he can go into Nightmare Shark and potentially try and win the game. If I don't think he's locked under the win condition, or when I say win condition, I mean win monsters only. Yeah, this is only when you do the tribute effect, and yep, he can go into Nightmare Shark here, and he can just try and kill him. And if Mr. Gold has a spell or trap that he wants to use to stop Nightmare Shark, assuming it isn't SS3, Totem Bird should just be able to negate it. So this is crazy duel. Let's see if he can pull this off. If not, he could just go into Acid Golem. Like, unless he just doesn't play good at rank 3 exceeds, which, okay, there you go. I'm not quite sure why that took so long, but it did, so whatever. All right, goes into Nightmare Shark. Should be able to attack directly for game. Keep in mind, Acid Golem would have been enough to kill him also. Oh, damage juggler. Oh, pepperonis, you resting. Wow. I guess he should have went for Acid Golem then. Because Acid Golem would have been too fast, too furious, too big for Diamond to run over. Nightmare Shark is not. Although, here's the kicker. As long as I think he might have the level 3 in his graveyard that lets him negate an attack. If he does, this duel will continue. However, Stardust might not give him a chance, because if he has like a hat tricker, which don't think he has any, like, I'm pretty sure he doesn't have any, pretty sure we haven't really seen any, what's it called? Like, we haven't seen any other Perform Ages. If he happens to have another copy of like a hat tricker in his deck, or well, anything that's not damage juggler, he could just go into another rank 4, excuse me. All right, so this is looking like Stardust has made a really interesting deck here. It's basically just, it's Star Seraph, Performages, I guess. Performer refs. Performer refs. Yeah, I guess what you call performer refs. Performer refs versus speed abyss. Burning roids. Burning roids, that sounds like a medical condition. Burning roids. Yeah, that sounds like a medical condition. So we're not gonna call it that. It's called burning abyss speedroids versus Star Seraph perform ages. All right, so he doesn't take any damage because the direct attack was essentially nullified by the damage juggler, and that's unfortunate because Stardust drew like 4 or 5 cards, and damage juggler was one of those cards. So puts Totemberg back in attack mode, puts a Downer Magician over the Nightmare Shark. Okay, fair enough. I guess he predicts that one of those monsters is not gonna live. He could have went for like double Downer Magician, but I guess he'd have to give up his Totem Bird negate effect, and I don't think you want to do that. So this deck seems very similar to like New Light Sworn, except it's just more or less based around the Star Seraph engine, which is of course very explosive. I wouldn't be shocked if I saw a lot of instant fusion. Like, I mean, what traps or what spells do you really have to use in this deck? Like, I mean, 3 instant fusion is a given. It's rank 4 based. 3 instant fusion and like I can't think of anything else that's 3 chicken games maybe and a terraforming. Like 3 chicken games, 1 terraforming, and like 3 instant fusion. So it's 7 spells, and everything else could just be like anti-spell fragrance and your supplemental traps. I guess no, it depends if you run monk or not. If you run monk, then I think your spell count probably has to be a little higher. But because like a lot of these decks will run monk to try and guarantee that they get to Star Seraph Scepter like as quickly as possible. So he's looking at his extra deck. Dude, just bust out good old Deltaros. Or if not Deltaros, then Evil Swarm Bahamut. That always works too. Trying to think of any other. Well, Ptolemaeus, Bahamut, and Deltaros were really like the only generic ones that saw any play. I mean, maybe there's another one I'm thinking of, but I guess it's not super popular. Otherwise, I'd probably be able to think of it. It's a damn shame that, you know what? Yeah, he actually really should have went in the Acid Golem. Now that I think about it. Oh, Amatarasu. Okay. Amaterasu. My man's busting out all the big rank 4s. Okay. Busts out Amaterasu. I think he's going to summon that damage juggler. I think he's doing that just so that he can keep getting them searches on. Oh, wow. Another hat trigger in his hand. This guy's going Wombo Lombo combo. Okay. But, yeah, Amaterasu is... I even think the Ghost Rare, like, costs no money, by the way, too. Like, I'm pretty sure that the Ghost Rare doesn't cost any. I'm going to ask this guy for his deck list after this match. Might have to test this on stream. Deck looks pretty budget, too. Like, pretty budget friendly. Now that the Star Seraph don't cost anything. But you see, Amaterasu... Primal Origin, I'm pretty sure she was the Ghost Rare of Primal Origin. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. All right, so he's nowhere near close to dying, by the way. So in case you're wondering that, nowhere near close to dying. But got Diamond here. Well, now actually, it's not really. Oh, this would have been budget last week again. Ptolemaeus, $32 card. Feels bad, man. Definitely should have bought. I should have bought it when it was $17. Now it's $15 more, $16 more for no reason at all. I don't know. Maybe the market will get flooded because that kind of happened when CDI was announced, and then it just completely died down, and people were like, "Oh yeah, CDI is not coming out for like another month and a half. Like, why do we need to get them now?" And now everybody's kind of racing to get CDI. So, okay, just a set. And things ain't looking so hot for Mr. Gold, guys. Especially considering Stardust has got more searches because he keeps putting Damage Juggler back in his graveyard. So he can just constantly search. Amaterasu is a beast of a card. It's just, it really wasn't that. It was unnecessary in Bujins, like wildly unnecessary. Like the best I ever saw was in like zombies and stuff. But I guess this deck can actually use it. And I mean, he's got so many light monsters. He could actually play Honest in here. You know that? That's the crazy thing. Because Amatarasu's light, and all your Satellite Exceeds are light. The Performage Engine is light in here, and obviously your Star Seraphs are light. So, yeah, it's feasible he could actually run Honest. Now, he did use some attack negation there with Triad Dice, but it's only going to keep you alive so long, man. It's only going to keep you alive for so long. All right. Especially with Anti-Spell Fragrance on the board, too. Even if you top deck the Regeki, you'd have to set it. Like, you'd have to set it for a turn for it to really have any type of effect. And that one turn, you're going to be dead. So, Mr. Gold, you've got a Babar in hand and 2 unknown cards. But somehow, some way, like, I guess he needs to have, like, 2 Burning Abyss to potentially try and go into, like, Acid or something. Alright, deactivate Speed Recovery. That gets him a special. Oh, wait, yeah, Anti-Spell Fragrance. Never mind. Okay, well, if you... Oh, yeah, another thing is, if he's setting cards, he locks himself out of special summoning with BAs. And, alright, that's definitely game. Alright, somebody named Sladra is trying to hit me up on, on Dueling Network. I know that that's not Asianized. So, I don't know why somebody took that... Why somebody took his name. Yeah, I don't know why somebody took his name on Dueling Network. All right, so we're going into game 2. That was an interesting duel. And Stardust is playing, what's it called? Playing Anti-Spell in the main deck. But I mean, that's how I feel about if you're not playing Pendulums. I'm like, if you're not playing Pendulums, why aren't you playing Anti? Maybe Cosmos is like the only deck that can say, you know, we don't really need to run it because we can do other stuff. But like every other, I feel like every other deck in the format should main like Anti-Spell Fragrance. You know, because it's just so good. It's just flip it over turn 1. Your opponent, like most of those Pendulum decks don't have MST, and you won't be able to use, if you're going first, they won't have a scale, obviously, or yeah, a full scale. So you don't have to worry about Dragon Pit Magician, and your opponent just has to play like small ball, and it just doesn't work against most of these other decks. Yosenju, Tellarknights, Burning Abyss. Like they're still definitely, even though their decks are, you know, like a year old, they're still fast enough to just wreck any deck that's only going to normal summon once. If all you're going to do is summon Scroll Acrobat Joker and then just pass turn, like you're going to get wrecked. Alright, so back to the duel. And Mr. Gold is going first with his Speedroid Burning Abyss. Wonder if he's playing Skill Drain. I wouldn't think so. I think it would conflict too much with the Speedroids. The Burning Abyss don't care, but I think it would conflict a little too much with the Speedroids. All right, so just set 2, not a very daunting opening, and Stardust 48 is going to go Scepter again. This guy always opens with Scepter. And I mean, he might just be trying to stack his He might just be trying to stack those sovereignties before he actually summons them. I just want to see if he plays like Monk or not, because I mean, I've even seen a lot of like Star Seraph heroes. I mean, that's a deck where like usually you're gonna try and go off turn 1, whether it be Dark Law or Sovereignty, like Sovereignty Scepter. You know what I mean? So nope, just an attack and just a set. 5 cards in hand, 1 being a Sovereignty, doesn't do anything but just set 1 back row and attack with a Scepter. I mean, is that telling me that you have Max C, or what are we doing here? Ironically enough, Max C is like brilliant against both of these decks, by the way, too. Oh, wow. Now he's probably going to go off. Because we already know he has 1 Scepter. I mean, 1 Sovereignty in hand. All right, there goes that Sovereignty. Maybe you could Mind Crush it. That'd be kind of cool. All right, I believe the chain order would be Scepter 1 and then Sovereignty 2, because like it has to be. How could Sovereignty be chain 1? It can't be. It's conditional upon, like it's conditional based on you summoning, so it has to be Chain Link 2. All right, Chain Link 3 is Vanity's Emptiness, which means there will be no summoning. There will be no special summoning from the hand. Here's the problem with that. You're about to take 3,600 damage, and Outside of like Skarm and Farfa, Burning Abyss monsters aren't very powerful. I mean, who knows? Maybe he plays Rubik or something like that. The Speedroid monsters, especially, like they're one problem with Speedroids is it's pretty easy to brick with that deck. Like, thank God they have a searcher because they need it. But it is pretty easy to brick with Speedroids. Again, I'm speaking from experience. I'm not just like randomly spouting all stuff. I've played the deck enough to know. Like sometimes, especially if you have to go first, man, you just open up like, what is this? All right, so we're getting to 2 for 2 here. Fortunately, that doesn't even up card advantage because Stardust is, he went second and he's gotten 2+1s. So card advantage is not really even. Vanities dies, of course, because of Regeki. So you see 6 cards in Stardust's hand versus 4 cards in Mr. Gold's hand. And when Stardust draws, he'll have another card advantage as well. So, I mean, at this point, it's a +3 on Stardust's turn, +2 during Mr. Gold's turn. And if he happens to summon that last scepter, I mean, oh baby, just look out. But again, I would just have to assume he plays Instant Fusion as well. Now, I guess Chicken Game does allow you to run like a 37 card deck if you ran 3 Chicken Games, because it's an Upstart 4000. But and I guess you could run 3 Upstarts and 3 Chicken Games. But then it's like if you ran 3 Instant Fusion, you got to be careful, man. Don't take no direct attacks. Not that you're gonna probably use 3 Instant Fusions in a duel anyways. Although maybe he only runs 2 Instant Fusions. All right, looks like he's got Tektomberg, or yeah, Tekatomberg. That's a hard word to pronounce. Oh, solemn warning on the effect. Ouch. Ouches. Okay. Open field for Mr. Gold. And I guess just the back row. I don't know how well it works because the back row is cool, but you do lock yourself out of special summoning the Burning Abyss monsters. So now Stardust could very well have an all monster hand. I mean, we know that he runs the Performance Engine. We know that he runs the Seraph engine. So a lot of light monsters in there. Oh, he activated Speed Recovery. Okay, get his monster back. I mean, it's kind of low not to have any monsters on board here. The question is, where do you go from here? Actually, maybe skill drain would work, because then you could summon your BAs when you have Speedroids, and you could go into Dante. Oh, I believe a Max C was played. I guess he just doesn't want, yeah, I think he changed Max C to Speed Recovery, and he's like, not so fast, my friend. You're just going to stop right then and there. All right, now Stardust has like 18 cards in hand. Activates Upstart Goblin. I thought he was running that. So he needs to do stuff. Like, if I was him, I would try and go for the kill on Mr. Gold this turn. You're like +4 in advantage. I don't think it's going to get any better than this. He activates Chicken Game, which I don't quite understand here, because yeah, it makes your hand a little better, but it costs you 1,000, and now you can't actually do damage to Mr. Gold. I mean, it activates Instant Fusion, but you still can't do you still technically can't do damage. So maybe he plans on like using another Upstart to get him over the what's it called. And actually, now that I think about it, I think you have to play Upstart in Chicken Game so that this doesn't happen, where your opponent has lesser life points. Targets his Scepter, and I think that's how he's going to bring out those sovereignties in his hand, and looks like it is. Busts out those 2 sovereignties, gets a draw 2. This Exceed should be able to do the job. Yeah, if he summons like Deltaros, well, no, Deltaros only 2,500. Can clear his board though, would also give him a draw. So, but he hasn't normal summon. That's the thing. Yeah, so like he should be fine with something like a Deltaros. Also, Deltaros could pop Chicken Game, so that's another thing to remember. So he could pop his own Chicken Game. Okay, looks like he's listening to what I'm saying. Yeah, he could go Deltaros. He could pop his own Chicken Game. And nope, pops the back row. Space-Time Trap Hole, keep in mind you cannot space time trap hole a Deltaros because you can't activate cards until the card is actually what's it called? You can't activate cards until the card is actually has been summoned on the field. So until after that, and it looks like Stardust is going to scoop, or excuse me, Mr. Gold is going to scoop. Well, it looks like he had game on board because all he had to do was just the chicken game that he searched. All he had to do was just set it to turn off the chicken game, and then he obviously was just gonna. Well, apparently he was gonna summon Gem Knight Pearl or Gem Knight Garnet. Use Deltaros' effect, pop, attack, or he could have went into an XC and potentially kept the plays going there. But this is at least some interesting decks to see from both players on Dueling Network. So who knows what else people are running on here. Thank you guys for watching as always.